The following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my friends and subscribers. This is the TFfangeek. Yesterday was my birthday. I apologize for not doing this video last night, but I had so much fun celebrating my birthday I couldn't get it done until the following day, today, so this is technically celebrating my birthday a day late, but I don't care because I got quite an impressive haul of Transformers action figures. Most of them arrived before my birthday. Most of them I bought for myself, actually. All of them I bought for myself, but they were all pretty great Transformers action figures, and I do not regret getting any of them and adding them to my Transformers collection. So without further delay, let's get going, and I will like to share with you guys my birthday haul for the year 2025. So 1 year older, hopefully a year wiser, and I've added to my Transformers collection, going on the Transformers figure sizes from smallest to largest. I was originally going to pass on the aerial bots, but I changed my mind, so with Slingshot and Air Raid now in my Transformers collection, I've completed Wave 1 of Age of the Primes. Fingers crossed that we will get it Fireflight and Skydive soon. Amazon currently has Wave 2 of Age of the Primes, which I believe Fireflight and Skydive are two of the deluxe figures from that wave, scheduled for release. They're scheduled for release sometime in October. That's the street date for them, but hopefully it'll be bumped up soon. So Air Raid and Skydive I got off of Amazon. Then yesterday for my birthday, I went to one Walmart and 2 Target stores. And between 2 trips to Target and 1 stop at Walmart, I only managed to get a grand total of 2 Transformers action figures. The only Transformers figure I found at Walmart was the only one I was expecting to get and find there, which is this guy right here. The Transformers G1 Retro Deluxe Class Gears action figure. I can count using the fingers on one hand how many action figures of Gears I have in my Transformers collection, so I figured, you know what, for a new head sculpt and an alternate paint job which matches his original Generation 1 action figure, I figured, why not get this guy and add it to my Transformers collection. So yeah, there's the Walmart exclusive Retro Gears action figure. Hopefully later this year I'll be able to get a hold of Sea Spray when he gets released. Don't know if I'm going to get Brawn and Bumblebee yet. But I was happy that I was able to find him. And next up, between 2 Target stores that I visited yesterday on my birthday, I found a total of just 1 single Transformers action figure that I wanted to add to my Transformers collection, and it was this guy. This is the Transformers Studio Series More Than Meets the Eye Target Store exclusive collection, which is evidenced by the red stripes on the design pattern on all the sides of the box. This is the Studio Series Deluxe Class Perceptor with the 2 core class as cassette bots of Autobot Ramhorn and Decepticon Ratbat, who is you can barely see Ratbat. He's up there in that corner of the box, and then there's Ramhorn on that side. Alright, so yes, this is a Target Store exclusive. Of the 3 action figures in this box set, the selling figure for this one is Ramhorn, because this is the first ever release of Ramhorn that we've gotten. And Perceptor, his paint job is based more on his appearance in the G1 film, rather than his Generation 1 action figure, which is what his original Studio Series Deluxe Class figure was based on. It's come to my attention that Perceptor has a new sculpted torso, which matches up closer to his animation model, but it also has a new transformation step which successfully hides his head when he transforms into microscope mode. And the screenshot that they're going off of, which is why of all the cassette bots, Ratbat and Ramhorn are the 2 cassette bots that come packaged with Perceptor, is this screenshot of the Generation 1 film, in which shortly after Ratbat starts to attack Perceptor, Ramhorn comes charging in and bashes Ratbat off of Perceptor's back. So that's why of the 2 cassette bots that come packaged with Perceptor, you get 1 Decepticon and 1 Autobot. odd because it's based on that one screenshot, which I think it literally lasts just a split second, where Perceptor, Ratbat, and Ramhorn are on screen without any other Transformers being around in the Generation 1 film. Me personally, I think, even though I believe I've never said this before about Studio Series 86 releases, but that for me personally I think is a bit of a stretch, going off a screenshot of the movie that lasts just a split second before more characters appear on screen, being the excuse for including the first ever release of Ramhorn, along with the second release of Ratbat here with Perceptor, and having them as Target exclusives. So, in terms of new characters, since Ramhorn is the new character in this box set, if you were to buy this box set for the purpose of adding Ramhorn to your Transformers collection to complete Blasters, Core Class Autobot cassette bots, this box set is retailing for $35, so you basically you're paying $35 for Ramhorn with Ratbat and Perceptor as added bonuses. But considering the retooled parts that the newly sculpted torso, I think Perceptor is just as interesting and a good reason to get this box set along with Ramhorn. For me personally, Ratbat is the bonus figure. He's the least interesting of the three. Pretty much what Ratbat has going for him is similar to Ramhorn. His paint job is based off of his appearance in the G1 film, rather than his G1 action figure, which is what his original Titans Return action figure that this one is repainted from is based on. They do come with the same Ratbat and Ramhorn come with the same weapons packs that their original Generation 1 action figures have, and here on the photos of the back of the box it shows that you can take both Ramhorn and Ratbat's laser guns and give them to Perceptor to give him added firepower. Interesting decision having this is one of the least likely trios of Transformers action figures that most fans and collectors thought we'd have ever seen. So yeah, there's my first more than meets the eye Target exclusive collection of the Transformers 2025 action figure series. I was hoping, and I had all my fingers crossed, I was hoping I would be able to find the other more than meets the eye Target exclusive Transformers box set that came out at the same time Perceptor, which is the Transformers Devastation, Elite Seeker, and Decepticon Ground Soldier 2-pack. And I had enough money in my wallet that I was going to do they're army building figures, and I've said this before on my channel. For me, when it comes to army building Transformers, 4 copies is a decent amount. I'm aware of the price tag that the more than meets the eye Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier 2-pack set is going for at Target. So this was the most disappointing part of my birthday yesterday. I was dreaming that I would find 4 copies of that 2-pack with the Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier, but the number of copies I found between visiting 2 Target stores yesterday was 0. I still have not found the Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier 2-pack at any Target store. I contemplated buying them online, but then slightly silver lining to not finding that 2-pack is that yesterday when I got home from my shopping trip with my family, I popped onto Walmart's website and I found the 2 Age of the Primes Deluxe Class figures that are being sold exclusively at Walmart, Excellion and Sideways, who are characters from the Transformers Cybertron 2005 series. I found them at Walmart. When I purchased them last night, they said that that Walmart guaranteed delivery by Sunday, July 27th, and I'm praying that holds up. I was hoping they were going to be shipped out together at the same time, but Walmart notified me just a few hours ago that Excellion has already been packed and shipped off. Sideways has not been shipped yet, so I'm really hoping Sideways also arrives on Sunday, because I'm slightly more excited for Sideways than I am for Excellion. So as disappointing as it was not finding any copies of the Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier 2-pack, at least I know, since there's 2 Target stores here in my hometown and that at least one of them will have the More Than Meets the Eye exclusive figures in the upcoming weeks. So I'm hoping since the month of July technically ends a week from now, so I'm hoping maybe sometime next month in August I'll get a chance to finally get that exclusive set. But I'm still happy that I was able to find the 3-pack with Perceptor, after Ratbat and Amhorn, and Cybertron Excellion is on the way, and hopefully Sideways will arrive the same day. So if you guys could please wish me luck down in the comments section, because I'm really hoping that Sideways and Excellion will arrive at the same day. So yeah, that was my birthday draw. Those are the main ups and downs of my birthday drama. Well, more downs than anything else. And the Untold Stories was another thing I was going to do, but... So anyways, those are all the deluxe class figures that I purchased and added to my Transformers collection, and the exclusives. And next up we have mass retail figures and Voyager class figures. Oh, I forgot, there technically is one more figure I bought that's an exclusive. I'll get to it a little later. But getting back to Studio Series and Age of the Primes, these next figures all came courtesy of Amazon. So here is Voyager class Age of the Prime Skybite. So with him, I have both of the Voyager class figures from Wave 2 of the Age of the Primes line, and I am just really excited to have this new Skybite action figure. One of the video reviews I've been seeing of people who managed to get a hold of Skybite, unboxed him and reviewed him before I got the chance to. They really enjoy his transformation and the fact that he has articulated joints, so just like in the Car Robots cartoon, Skybite's head can move up and down and his tail can swish side to side. So he's not an immobile shark. He has lots of flexibility, for lack of better grammar, just like he did in the cartoon that he appeared in. So that's really nice there. I'm already anticipating that Hasbro and Takara are going to do like they did with Tarn and repaint Skybite into his Cyberverse colors. Just to use this mold one more time. Personally, I wouldn't mind. If they released the action figure that Skybite technically was a repaint of, which was the Transformers Beast Machines. I can't remember the character's name, if it was Sharkmaster or Esther or Jaw something. But anyways, that's a bit of interesting trivia. Robots in Disguise Skybite, his original action figure was a repaint of an action figure that was released in the Transformers Beast Machines line. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we got that Beast Machines character repainted from Age of the Prime Skybite here. No new leader class action figures or other deluxes apart from Air Raid and Slingshot, since most of the ones that I ordered from Amazon, they've either already been delivered or they haven't come around yet. I was hoping, at least at one of the Target stores, I would have been able to have found Alchemist Prime and Vortex, but I did not see any Age of the Primes deluxe class figures. Not even any of the Wave 1 action figures were on the shelves. The only deluxe class figures I saw were Studio Series, which are the ones that were released a few months ago, such as 86 Bone Crusher, Dark of the Moon Q, and apparently I don't know if it's happening at Walmart, but at Target, I guess the first time when he was released back in 2023, Transformers Legacy Evolution, the deluxe class action figure of DevCon, he became very hard to find and difficult to obtain, so he's being released for a second time this year in 2025. At one of the Target stores, I did see a couple of copies of DevCon on the pegs. The other Target store that I visited had absolutely nothing there except Perceptor. Yeah, just if you missed out on DevCon the first time when he was released 2 years ago in 2023 during Legacy Evolution, now's the time to get. Now you have a second chance to get him and add him to your Transformers collection if you've stopped by Target stores. I was successfully able to get DevCon back in 2023 during Legacy Evolution, so I was unaware of how hard and difficult to find he was. I do admit, when I did stop at Target, I did see some large-sized Transformers action figures from Studio Series and Age of the Primes, but the reason why I'm bummed about not being able to get them is because last week they arrived from Amazon, so I already had them in my possession by the time I went to Target yesterday. So first up, we have both of these action figures are courtesy of Amazon. We have the two Transformers Generations Commander Class action figures. So first up, we have Transformers Age of the Primes Silverbolt. So yeah, it was someone's review on Silverbolt, going all the details and all the highlights about Superion and even Silverbolt's new transformation, where Superion's on skeleton becomes an extension of Silverbolt's vehicle mode, and he transforms his alt mode of a Concorde jet into what I personally have been calling a Concorde starship, capable of spaceflight. Right, where you basically have Superion's torso, and the skeletons for the arms and legs transforming into a weapons pack. On the Generation 1 version of the aerial bots, it's the body parts that made Superion. They were separate accessory pieces that you had to keep in a bag or in a container with your aerial bots in order not to lose them and being able to combine them into Superion. And so to follow that feature of the G1 action figure, to try and make this version of Silverbolt as G1 accurate as possible, the designers at Hasbro and Takara made similar to the Legacy Stunticons, more specifically Legacy Commander Class Motormaster. They made Superion's body parts its separate sculpted pieces that weren't actually a part of Silverbolt's actual body, and they form an extension of the vehicle mode. It worked for a lot more Transformers fans and collectors. You might hear them say on some of the blogs and some of the fan-based Transformers websites that Motormaster, it's slightly more G1 accurate, this design choice for the combiners. Since the extension for Menassor's body, the part of Motormaster's alt mode that it transforms into is the trailer for his alt mode of a semi-truck, which Motormaster always had. But for Silverbolt, the weapons pack transforming into a extension, a back section of his jet mode, so he transforms from a Earth-based jet into a starship. It's something brand new. But for me personally, I don't care what it is. I'm just thrilled to have another action figure of Generation 1 Silverbolt in my Transformers collection. Those of you with a keen eye would have noticed that there's a dent going along the entire length of Silverbolt's box up here, and that's because, quick story, when I purchased Silverbolt off of Amazon, I purchased him brand new, but I was sent a used copy that had been returned to Amazon, and Amazon was trying to sell again. And the same thing happened with my Titan Class Star Convoy figure that I got last month in June, or actually no, it was at the start of this month. And so I contacted Amazon's customer service and told them, look, I ordered a brand new copy of this figure, but they sent me a used one where the box was damaged and dented. And so they told me, okay, we can give you a 20%, we'll give you a 20% discount. So at least I got that. So I got 20% off of what I paid for Silverbolt. So I believe he might now hold the title of Commander Class figure that I spent the least amount of money on. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, I've had a lot of, basically this year for my birthday, I had a lot of ups and downs with my Transformers collecting, but even though the downs hit me emotionally and personally, they hit me kind of hard. The ups and the positives and the silver linings and the final outcomes, they've all been pretty good so far. Are getting 20% off Titan Class Star Convoy, and now 20% off Commander Class Silverbolt. That was a very big silver lining for me. Luckily, the next Commander Class figure that I ordered from Amazon was not new or was not used, and it was brand new, and it arrived undamaged. And it is, of course, as you guys have probably already guessed, it's the Studio Series 86 Commander Class 2-pack of Hook and Long Haul. So yes, the Constructicons, Hasbro decided, since both Hook and Long Haul transform into Devastator's torso, they figured rather than having them be individually released, just like Age of the Prime Silverbolt and Legacy Motormaster 3 years ago, during Legacy Year 1, they decided, since both Hook and Long Haul transform into Devastator's torso, Transformers fans and collectors shouldn't have to hunt down the two bots separately. They should be able to have the chance to get Devastator's entire torso at once, like the torsos for the other combiners. So Hook and Long Haul are being sold in a 2-pack pack box set. Long Haul is a Leader class Transformers figure, and Hook is a Voyager class sized figure, so that's why they're being sold as a Commander. And just like Motormaster, Silverbolt, and Silverbolt is what I meant to say. Just like the other Torso bots, Devastator's robot mode parts that on the Generation 1 action figure were separate parts that you just attached, that you used to attach the Constructicons to each other. They are rather than being incorporated into Hook and Long Haul's body parts, which is what happened with their Combiner Wars action figures. It happened more so with Long Haul here than it did with Hook. And on the Combiner Wars version of Long Haul, I'll to try and make it as short as possible and just spit it out before my mind starts to shut down again. Generation 1 Devastator, the way he transformed, his entire pelvis and waist piece was one entire separate piece. It didn't transform or didn't do anything at all. It didn't have any moving parts to it. But it's what you used to attach Scrapper and Mixmaster underneath Long Haul to form Devastator's legs. On the Combiner Wars version of Long Haul, Devastator's pelvis was incorporated into Long Haul's body, and so the Combiner Wars version of Long Haul, he is much bulkier and larger than the other Constructicons due to Devastator's spare parts now being a part of Long Haul himself. But here for the Studio Series 86 line, Hasbro and the designers at Hasbro and Cartoni decided to make those parts of Devastator, his waist piece and his thighs, they decided to make them separate parts again, and so rather than incorporating them directly into Long Haul, they now sit behind him as a trailer extension for his alt mode of a dump truck. Even though he transforms into a dump truck, Long Haul hates carrying things, and he hates being treated as if all his main job to do is all he's good for to the other Constructicons, and even Megatron Decepticons overall is just carrying stuff. Long Haul absolutely hates it, and I just love that personality trait. Hate for Long Haul as a character. Even though he transforms into a dump truck, the construction vehicle that's designed to carry things, he actually hates carrying things, and I just always enjoyed that about Long Haul. So the fact that he now has to pull a trailer made up of Devastator's spare body parts for the Constructicons to combine, and he now has to still do the heavy lifting compared to his Constructicon teammates. I just enjoy seeing that here for the Studio Series 86 figures. Hook is impressive as well. I'm glad that here, going on the photos of the box, reveal that unlike his Combiner Wars action figure, but just like his Generation 1 action figure, the boom arm of his crane alt mode, it can extend. It doesn't extend that far, but it still extends. It's not stagnant or stationary like his Combiner Wars action figure was, so I'm really glad that they incorporated that here on his Studio Series 86 figure. Infamously, if you're buying and collecting all of the Combiner Wars Constructicons, Hook and Long Haul originally were going to be released separately. Evidence of this can be seen by the fact that on Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bone Crusher's box, Bone Crusher is listed as being number, I believe it's either 2 or 3 of 6 Constructicons that combine into Devastator. So apparently Bone Crusher was already in production by the time Hasbro changed their minds and decided that Hook and Long Haul were going to be released together in a 2-pack. So together, Hook and Long Haul are number 3 out of only 5 sets of Constructicons in the Studio Series 86 line that form Devastator. So Bone Crusher's box is a call out to the fact that they were originally going to be released separately and apart from each other. But yeah, now that I have them, I'm really thrilled with how they look. Look, Mixmaster is the next Constructicon who's scheduled for being released in Wave 3, the following wave of Studio Series 86, and then Scavenger, the 6th and final Constructicon will be released in the wave after Mixmaster. Hasbro had said at the start of the year that the Constructicons were going to be released. Almost all of them were going to be released in separate waves. Scrapper and Bone waves of Studio Series 86. Scrapper and Bone Crusher in Wave 1 of the Studio Series line. Well, Wave 1 for the current year of 2025. Then the wave after that, Hook and Long Haul. Then the wave after that, Mixmaster, and then the next wave after Mixmaster, Scavenger. So that takes us through most of the year of 2025. So by the time Scavenger does get released, if he does get released on time, it'll be sometime between October and November this year, so most Transformers fans and collectors will complete Studio Series 86 Devastator by Christmas of 2025. I'm personally not all surprised that Hasbro decided to have it drag on throughout the year to make this the year of the Constructicons. I mean, granted, if you were to time travel 40 years ago to 1985, even though Devastator appeared in the final episode of Season 1 of Transformers Generation 1, that episode, I believe it didn't air on television until the spring of 1985. So 1985 was the year that the Constructicons got the most screen time. I can see why Hasbro decided to have the Studio Series 86 Constructicons released this year in 2025 for the 40th anniversary of the second year of the Transformers franchise. So, moving on from the Constructicons and Commander class figures, I did purchase a third-party Transformers action figure. I saw this going on Amazon for just $30, and then I saw some positive reviews on it when I was hesitant about getting it and adding it to my Transformers collection at first. I don't know the official name of this action figure. I do know the company that made it. It's known as Gang, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's a Chinese third-party Army action figure, but it is one that some of you guys probably have never heard of before, but I will give you a chance to see it right now, and it's this right here. So what this action figure is, it is a third-party Transformers action figure, and what it's supposed to be is it's the Transformers character of Primus, with his alt mode being Planet Cybertron, with the slight catch that the saber blade that he has, and also his defense shield, they can attach to the planet mode and he becomes a globe. But the main selling point of this action figure is that not only is it trying, at least in the torso and the upper half of the robot mode, it's trying to imitate Optimus Prime's paint job of a red torso with a blue head. But this is basically an action figure of Primus that's the same height as a old school Voyager class Transformers action figure. I saw more than one review before I got this figure off of Amazon, and it's in between the size of a modern Voyager and Leader class Transformers action figure. So if anyone out there has ever wanted to have an action figure of Primus that's in between the size of a modern Voyager and Leader class action figure, then this is a third-party figure that gives you the chance to own a smaller sized version of Primus / Planet Cybertron. And if you ever wonder what Planet Cybertron would look like if it was a globe with its own display stand, this action figure has that feature as well. So yeah, it's just a fun, and now holds the title of being my most recent third-party action figure that I've added to my Transformers collection. The last one, the noise you're hearing is a bag that I have it in. The last Transformers action figure that I actually got for my birthday. One of the Target stores that I went to and visited. It's inside a shopping mall, and on my way there, I passed by a comic book store that was selling action figures as well. Some vintage, some used, and they didn't have a big selection of Transformers action figures. But they did have one that I felt that I didn't have in my Transformers collection that I figured, for the price they wanted compared to how much it's going for brand new online, I figured this would probably be the best deal I could ever get for this action figure. And so here's my final and most surprised Transformers purchase, courtesy of a privately owned comic book store, or that I just happened to find in the same shopping mall as one of the Target stores I went to. Here we have the Transformers Generation Selects Galvatron action figure. So this is the enhanced Galvatron action figure when he's being, right at the moment when he's being upgraded from Megatron into Galvatron by Unicron. The figure's made almost entirely out of clear purple plastic, so it probably doesn't have the best longevity. It's probably only going to last a couple more years before parts of it start to disintegrate. But I figured, you know what? I actually, while I was still there inside the comic book store, I looked on Amazon to see how much the figure was going for brand new, and this was going for almost half of what Amazon wanted for it brand new, and so I figured, you know what, that's probably the best deal I'm going to get on this figure. So, and I was originally going to pass on it entirely because of the clear purple plastic bits used on him, but I figured, you know, it's a cool enough looking Galvatron action figure, so I figured I'll get it and add it to my Transformers collection. So that was the biggest surprise of my day was finding, well, the second biggest surprise of my day was finding this version of Galvatron. It was the biggest surprise of my Transformers collecting, but the biggest surprise of all is I purchased one last product that is not a Transformers action figure, but when I saw this at all this, I figured, okay, I have got to get this thing, because before I was into collecting Transformers action figures, what I collected most when I was a little kid was Legos, and I was into Star Wars, and I collected all the Lego Star Wars that were coming out at the time when I was a kid, collecting them during the late 90s and early 2000s. And so, I had said earlier in the video that Gears was the only Transformer I found at Walmart. That is true, he was the only Transformer I found at Walmart, but he's not the only product. I found something I have not collected in years. I believe it's been almost 2 decades since I last purchased a Lego set, but when I saw the price that Walmart was going for this Lego set and the size that it was, I figured that was a good price for it. Like I said, I haven't been collecting Legos in almost 20 years, so I'm out of touch with what is a good price for a Lego and what is not. But the biggest surprise for my birthday was finding a Lego set and a Star Wars Lego set at that. And so without further delay, the biggest surprise on my birthday for 2025, I present to you guys this. This is the Lego Star Wars set number 75407. The words Star Wars. So yeah, the Star Wars logo in Legos. So the Star Wars logo Lego. Or Lego logo, however you want to say it. But yeah, really thrilled to have this thing here, and I'm super excited about it. And just like in the actual Star Wars logo itself, the letters S and T in the word Star are connected, and the letters R and S in the word Wars are connected as well. So yeah, this, for the first time in 20 years, I purchased a Lego Star Wars set, and I just cannot wait to get this out of the box and put it together. Like most Lego sets, it's just a display piece once it's fully built and constructed. It's not really designed for movable playability, but that's why I was into Legos when I was a kid, because once I built them, I could display them without having to wear myself down actually playing around with them. That was my mentality when it came to collecting Legos. It does have one feature, though, where if you take the top off of the letters S and T in the word Star and you look inside, there are two tiny microscopic versions of the first spaceships seen in the very first Star Wars film back in 1977, the Rebel Blockade Runner and the Imperial Star Destroyer. So there's the opening scene that started the Star Wars franchise. So thank you guys all so much. This has been the TFfangeek. This has been my birthday haul video for 2025. Thank you to everyone for your continued support, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.